Masan is saying what? As I was saying when I started the show, hey, Pastor Sue, Pastor Munene, it's good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Nakwambia mko na mapanzi. Do you guys watch my show? Ama do you just look forward to watching it on news? I asked them because you know we start with the news.
Yes.
So naulizanga like watching news ama tu ikifika 9:30 mneka alarm because of the crew in studio.
Yes, wow.
How are you doing tonight?
Doing very, very well.
Let's start with the only gentleman today.
Yes, I'm happy and we are strong.
Yes.
This girl, she's keeping me very,
I've
very
kept
well.
you nice.
Yes.
Do you guys
No
always
stress.
like jump off on each other's energy? Like,
Yes.
kila saa, because now you're always like my girl, my
Yes.
husband,
Yes.
wale wako single.
I think in relationship and in marriage,
Yes.
you just have to be intentional.
Wow.
You know, to be intentional to love your partner,
Yes.
to be intentional to be on them, to think about them, to text them, to call them.
So you do all this.
Oh,
yes.
you have to
yes,
be
you have to do
intentional.
that.
Because if you don't do that, they say nature
does not allow
Vacuum.
Exactly.
You said that all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to be intentional about your partner, thinking about them, you know, calling them, SMSing them, and talking to them. You just have to, even if you've got nothing to tell them, tell them that nothing.
Just like I just thought about nothing and just said anything.
I love you. I've missed you. How are you doing? How was your day? That is it. You keep them in your mind. You know, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and when the sun goes down.
Let me ask you, Pastor, so before we get sorry.
Yes, and you know the same way we have all this positive energy.
Yes.
When we have that good time, it's the same energy we go with when we have a misunderstanding.
Oh, is it?
It goes the same.
But when you
couples who are very close to each other, it's the same energy they go with when a misunderstanding happens.
How does that work? How are we supposed to also still be like high energy?
No, I'm saying the same positive energy that you have is almost the same when there is something, when you have a misunderstanding. And I think that's what we do with us. As we can really argue on something, but we'll make sure that we come up with a conclusion. Yeah, so because not all the time that we agree, but most of the time when we are in good vibe, we make sure we enjoy that time.
No, that's what
that time.
They say that everything is good.
We are on top of each other. But when now things, because there are times in marriage when you just don't feel each other at all, then now that's what reminds me. Now,
then you miss it.
I miss it. Thank you. But if you didn't have this time when you are hyper to one another, even when things go down, they can really go so down. So the energy is the same.
And that's why you don't learn a relationship or marriage by your feelings.
No.
You don't do that. I mean, there are many times that I don't feel in love.
Thank you.
Thank you for saying that.
Thank you.
Unajua nyinyi mnapatianga watu pressure huko nje. Watu wanaona like, hey manzia.
No.
Unapendana daily, every second.
Oh yes. There are times that we don't feel. I also don't feel him. Jaribu kumtafuta nasikia hayuko. I'm not able to get him. But what keeps us together is commitment. Commitment to the marriage and to the institution. So what he has said is very true. You cannot run your marriage on feelings.
Exactly.
Just like salvation. You cannot run your salvation with feelings.
Like today I feel
like worshiping God, tomorrow you feel like cursing him. You can't do that. That's like the way marriage is.
I like
because
that.
all what we share in relationship and in marriage are principles. So if you break the principles, then you are likely to have the consequences. And what is the principle? This man of mine just want respect and honor from me. How? Through my words and through my actions. If I can do that, he's sorted out. Hata tupelekane juu, in my mind I know I must respect him, I must honor him. It's always in my mind.
I love that.
Thank you.
You know,
And
today's topic is different, but kuna kitu hapo, there's something here also. But you've brought that issue up about feelings. So it's about principles. So when you say about feelings, it's like today I don't feel like, you know, like being nice to this man, I'm at this woman. That's what you're talking about, right?
Not really. Of course, even when you feel like you don't feel like you want to do them anything, you still do the right thing.
Oh, wow.
You know, you make the right choices.
Thank you.
In other words, you ignore your feeling and make the right move. Okay. So even when I don't feel like to love her, I still love her.
Yes.
Okay, let me say it this way. I'm a father.
Yes.
I have children. Okay? There are some times I'm unhappy with my children.
Very.
Because of what they have done.
Yes.
All right? But let me tell you, that evening, I'll pass through the supermarket, buy unga, pass through the butchery, buy meat, and the gross, whatever I need. Why? Because I am a father.
Wow.
And being a father, it is a commitment. It is a responsibility. So whether I'm happy with them or not, I provide the school fees. I provide the shelter. I provide the protection, whether I'm happy or not. So it is with my wife.
I love that.
That's a principle. Wow, I love that.
So the same case with the marriage. And that's why many people and many men, they destroy their relationship. Why? Because you are running your relationship, your family with the feelings. You know,
transactional.
Exactly. Exactly. It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Oh, yes.
You've got to be a man at all times.
Hey.
Preach.
You've got to be a woman and a wife at all times. That's what I do. Even when we have a great misunderstanding with Pastor Munene, I'm very intentional about my words. I'm very intentional about my actions. That's something back in my mind. Because I know there's something I can say or there's something I can do that can hurt his ego. And you know, when a man, you hurt his ego, he begins to go down and becomes even very defensive. He can even become physical. No matter how much he has annoyed me, there are things I can't do. Like character assassination, reminding me of something that he ever did. You know, those things I don't go to the past. Because even God does not determine your future by looking back at what you have done or what you said. So it's very important to be forward ever.
That was a strong start.
And to remember, and to remember your commitment when you got married. I'll call them marriage vows. See, when you get married, whichever you did it, there's some exchange that you did. There's some vows that you did. That I'll love you, I'll support you, I'll be for you in good times and
bad times.
So what is happening now when times are bad?
What is happening now? Hey, that was a strong start.
So for me, when I remember that, I was not just saying it for her alone.
I was for the church, for the parents.
For the church alone. I was also saying it unto God. To me, those vows, there's a God in heaven who was watching, who was listening what I was saying. And I must be truthful and committed to the very end.
Wow.
Hey, wait, this is another new topic. Thank you so much. That was fantastic. That was fantastic. All right, so you know what? We have to talk about getting to our topic. Because last week, Pastor Munene said something on the show, and we got a lot of reactions from it. And it's about money. Money. Pesa. Chapa. Greece,
Yes, Greece.
Do you believe, Pastor Sue, that money is a big contributor and a big factor to happiness, to peace in a relationship, in marriages?
Well, I would not say that it's 100% because there's also a myth about money. Like most people think that more money, more happiness. No. More money, more happiness. More money, more wisdom. More money,
more peace.
More peace. No.
It's a myth.
It's a myth. Why? There are people with money, a lot of money, but there is no peace in that house, even within them. There are people with money and they have no wisdom, because what money gives you is wealth. Money can never give you happiness. Money can never make you wise. You've got to invest in money wisdom. And that's why we have forums where we are taught how to manage money. And so one of the things that have made so many people to have challenges in their marriages because of poor money management. And poor money management comes because of our curriculum or the way we are wired in our school. There's nowhere in primary school I can remember secondary school that we learned about money. You know, Turistukia too. You get the point. Another thing also I see is a challenge is because money was so much hidden, especially by baby bloomers, Gen X. You know, so money was it was like gold. It was like something so precious, and so most of us never touched money. In fact, if you remember, our parents could not even trust us. They would come to pay school fees even in school. You get the point? Because they thought if they introduce you to money, it's going to mess you up. And so because of this thing that has been hidden for a very long time, when someone gets that money, if you had not developed a character, it's likely to master you. And that's why we talk about money madness. That when someone has money madness is when you allow money to master your mind and your heart, such that money is everything to you. And we have seen that. But we need to to understand money is a medium of exchange that is very important to a family. Because you need money to run your family in the right way, because there are bills to pay, you know, there are all these things that need to be made. And so money is very important. But that is not the foundation of a good marriage. No. In fact, that's why you find most billionaires, they are in their 4th, 5th marriage. Why?
Imagine
because it tells us that money is not equals to happiness. What keeps a family going on is principles that guards money. Like one of the things I love about Pastor Munene, and I want to say this is actually a very powerful principle, is total transparency when it comes to money. And I think that is what has made our family
important.
This man has practiced that.
I'd love to hear from you. What is that total because people hide, people have secret accounts, people have secret chamas.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, what is money transparency?
Well, I think as she has said, one of the things that is very key and very important, if you're going to have a good family, a good relationship, a good marriage, it is being transparent on the issues of money.
Wow.
But then, Betty, we cannot talk about transparency when there is no good communication.
Wow.
So it boils again or goes back to your skills of communication. And you find most of the couples, they are not good with communication. They are very poor when they come to, actually, if communication is not there at all on anything. And you see, communication is to marriage what blood is to the body.
Oh, please repeat that again.
Communication is to marriage what blood is to the body.
So you can't separate them?
You can't separate or do it. Just like you can't do without blood in the body, so you can't do without good marriage, you can't do without communication in marriage. And so what happens? If we are not talking, if we are not communicating, then automatically there will be no transparency. So unakuta mzee, you have some debt somewhere, but mama does not know. You're talking about transparency. You know? So unangangana kulipa deni ama unakuta ya kwamba one day munachotwa. Simply because you kept things secret. You know? So I think to me, as my wife is saying, transparency is something very, very important. And I and Pastor Sue, in our family, there is nothing about money that we don't talk about. Whether it's about her income, my income, doesn't matter. This from the business, we talk about money all the time. There's nothing like this is my money, that is your money, nothing like that. We are that transparent. So when I have money, she will know Pastor Munene has got money. If I meet with someone there and he gives me 100,000, by the way, I met with a friend of mine and they gave me 100K.
Like muko open hivyo munaambiana.
Exactly.
So right from the salaries, that this is what I get, this is what I get for my business, literally everything.
And I want to say, I think the person who sets the pace is the man. Because one of the things when I realized, when I married Pastor Munene, and I realized he was so open about finances, that made me now to go, you know, trusting him with money. And then he told me he was earning quite a little money when we met him. I'm the one who was earning much. But he was so truthful that when I get this money, I pay my tithe. Then the rest of the money I can pay rent.
I love that tithe is the first.
Oh yes, very, very important.
I love that.
Ever since.
Very, very
even
important.
Until today. Yeah, so I think when I found that truthfulness, I stopped having expectation about money.
I love that.
Something very, very important. Actually, you find if you can't learn to give God
the tithe,
the first money when you give it is 10%. That's what we are taught. You find even giving your spouse money becomes a problem.
Oh, is it? So it starts from the tithe.
It starts with God.
It starts with God.
So
you're saying that today people change their ways and start.
If you are there, you are struggling with giving your spouse money. Can you begin to give tithe?
you're also struggling to give tithe.
You know?
Hey.
You are struggling to give your spouse money.
Exactly.
Even God, you don't give tithe.
Exactly.
In fact, that's a very strong principle. Yes, because one of the things I saw, when we got married with Pastor Munene, I came from a church, though tithe was taught, I never really understood about it.
Yes.
So I was not that consistent. Nilikuwa natoa wakati na hiyo feeling.
Yes,
I feel Then I met a man, whether we have bills, whether he has very little money, he must give tithe. So I first of all watched him. I first of all watched that because I would wonder, must you give? You see, I didn't have much. You get the point? And why are we giving to the church in that in the first place? So one of the things that Pastor Munene taught me is that 10% removes greed and attachment with money.
That is it. Removes greed and attachment with money.
And then he told me, my wife, we are not told to give 90%. We are only being told 10%.
10%.
What is 10% of 100,000? 10,000. How much money have you been left with? 90,000. You are not told to give 90,000. You are being told to give 10%. Why do you concentrate so much with the 10 and you forget that you have the 90? You get the point? And the Bible says God will rebuke the devourer on your behalf, not the man of God. So when you obey God, you are telling God, thank you for giving me the energy, the strength to be able to do what I do.
Right.
So one of the things I found in him already. And that's why it's very good to marry a spiritual man when he is already established, because when he comes into your life, it's like he sets the pace for you and it becomes very easy for a woman to follow. So when I saw the conviction that he would give even when we have nothing, or even sometimes we are left with the bills to pay, and somehow God would provide. God would somehow provide. That thing really challenged my faith. And I said, no, I think I'll start tithing small.
Ulianza na 10% ama ulianza na 3%?
Alinisaidia, lakini the good thing he never coerced. Then he taught now us in the church about the benefits of tithing. So now I got it from another perspective and I was able to give. So one of the things that we don't do, no matter how low we are or high we are, is we give our tithe every Saturday. We send the money to the account of the church because we don't want to eat God's money, you know. And then when you eat God, who is going to rebuke the devourer? Who is going to fight the battles? Because there are battles that God fights for us when we obey His word. You get the point? Just like when you respect your husband, there are benefits of respecting. When a husband loves the wife, there are benefits of loving your wife. So is it with even money. And so poor money conflict is one of the causes that has made this divorce, separation, even people to kill one another. I think you have had even spouses, when they know that there's some money that is coming, they plan something that will destroy their spouse. Why? Because the money is a competitor of your heart and your mind. You need to understand that. There are two things that compete for your heart and your mind, God and money. That's why Jesus said, you cannot serve God and serve money. You must have one master. You're getting that? So that tells you right from the beginning, money has had a very core part in the life of a person. But it's good for us to understand that God has given us that capacity to be able to master money, not money to master us.
I love that.
Let me say something here very, very important. Because we're talking about relationship, money, and family. Betty, no amount of, let me say it this way, no matter how much problem you have, as a husband, as a wife, in your family, you should not be separated because of the pressure and the problems that you are having.
About money?
About money.
Okay.
There are many men and women who think, because we have problem, let me go to Mombasa, you remain in Kisumu, niye nikatafute pesa. No matter the problem you have, stick together. Stick together as a husband and wife. That's something very, very important. Why? The word of God says, where there is unity, God commands His blessing, even life forevermore. And any time people go to look for money and they get separated, it doesn't work for them.
What?
I need to say it.
People don't know that.
It doesn't work. I leave Pastor Sue in Nairobi, I go to Qatar to look for money, it doesn't work. Today I think we are quoting out of the scripture and the word of God.
That's all right.
Another one says, where your wealth is,
your heart is.
Where your heart is, that's where your wealth is. So, if I am in a far country and I'm looking for money, chances are I'll start boarding with whoever I get around there. And whoever I left back at home in the name of kumtafutia pesa, good life, it will not be so.
After me, I also look for people I can try to bond, and I'm a relational being. And that's why you're finding most of the people when they go to look for money. When you are coming back, you find your wife has a child who does not belong to you. You find they also have another relationship. Because when money goes together with your heart, you leave the core thing. I tell you, you have created a vacuum. And when you are together, like for us, because we've had times when we were very down financially, and we've had times when we are very high financially. One of the things he keeps on telling me, don't leave me. I will never leave you to go and look for money. Let's stay in this situation as we trust God for just a turnaround. And we have seen God in his own way, just coming in and providing. And so one of the things that I have seen couples doing, they don't so much trust God. They trust in their own abilities. Connections. You know, whom you know. So at the end of the day, you find there's a lot of confusion that can come when money is down. And then open a door that you people you will regret forever. Open a door of sexual immorality. Open a door of another child of one of you. In the name of looking for money. And we have seen that. So many marriages have been destroyed.
So let me ask, how does that sticking together work? For sure, watoto hawajalipiwa fees. For sure, there's a loan somewhere that is bringing pressure. How do you still stick together and work it out and not have that feeling of, hey, sasa mimi I have to walk away and find maybe greener pastures?
Wonderful. That's a very good question. I've seen it even in people who have even come to us. The minute you people agree that indeed we are in this situation and you begin to discuss about it, pray about it, you know, even go looking for jobs, God will just give you an idea. Idea will just be dropped.
That unity.
Because of that unity. And honoring the marriage institution. You will find just an idea coming, or you just meet with someone. We are not going to agree and stay in the house. No. We agree, and we are also going out to look for greener pastures. You are going to this office, I'm going to this office, I'm trying this, I'm getting somebody who can be able to boost my business. Somehow when God sees that unity, he will just send an angel.
Like it's a teamwork.
Yes, like a teamwork.
Exactly.
Every day there's a way you pray for this matter, you are thinking about this matter, you are giving each other energies, you know, positive energy, of course. And at the end of the day, you find you have come out of this. The challenge we have with most couples, most wives don't know what their husbands earn. Most husbands don't know what their wives are.
Going back to the transparency.
You see that? So at the end of the day, I have this expectation that Pastor Munene should build me a house. But he earns 50,000. You get the point? I want him to take my children to international school. Because the kind of a car he drives and the lifestyle he gives us tells me this man has money. And probably he took a loan to give us that lifestyle. And those who are bankers can agree with what I'm saying. Most of my friends are bankers and very senior people. They tell me 50% of the money that is which is taken for investment. Someone has a business, they go take a loan from a bank. They don't use that money for investing in the business. Most of it goes to it's like reward. Watu wanaenda party, mtu wanaenda Seychelles, anaenda wapi. You find the money that has been invested in business. And that's why you find most people straining to pay the loan. Because they got the money, they got money madness, and they started buying new clothes, they started doing all these things. So at the end of the day, you find the money that was meant for business was actually diverted. Why was it diverted? Because you are not accountable to each other. If we took money from the bank and we have agreed that we are investing in Clay City Medical Center, I'll make sure I'll keep on asking him, machine tumenunua, you know, have we renovated, you see? But now he took the money and I'm not aware. Then anaanza kunipe maisha ya juu. Ananiambia acha niwapeleke Mombasa. Let me take you to Dubai. You know, I think probably he got a promotion at the place of work. So transparency is what brings wealth.
I love
and even brings unity between a husband and a wife. And then I'll stop having expectations, even if my friends are going to Dubai and I know Munene earns 50,000. Mimi nitamwambia twende hapa Roiro. You get the point?
There's something.
So transparency is what brings a lot of peace between a husband and a wife, rather than someone hiding money and hiding an investment, you know, from your wife and your husband. And by so doing, you find yourself going down in debt, and at the end of the day, you are actioned for things that you would have avoided if you shared with
All right. There's something I just want to ask here.
Yes.
Pastor Sue, you said that you used to earn more. We also know that you come from a well-off family. You know, very at the opposite to Pastor. Pastor Munene wali hustle.
Yes, we did.
But very quickly we'll get back to this question. That transparency that you're talking about, because many men would feel like, okay, I earn less than my wife, but staki ajue because staki nataka kuheshimiwa. Do you get? I don't want to tell my wife that, you know, me I earn 30,000, maybe her she earns 100,000, because ile heshima itapotea. So going back to that transparency that you guys are talking about. But we will talk about that once we come back from this short commercial break. Don't go away.
At Nairobi Grace Chapel,
everybody lift up your hands in the presence of God and declare, He is Yahweh. He is the Alpha and the Omega.
get to receive the Word of God in the comfort of your home.
God does not dwell in the realm of the feelings. He dwells in the realm of our faith, our believing that He is there.
Join us every Sunday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Are you a poultry farmer in Kenya? Are you looking for quality poultry feeds that will guarantee the growth of your poultry farm? Then look no more. Backbone Feeds Kenya Limited is the leading manufacturer of quality broiler and layer feeds in Kenya. Our feeds' unique composition makes them the most preferred feeds in commercial poultry production. With just 3.2 kgs of feed per bird, you're guaranteed at day 35 to get 2.4 kgs average live weight. A great return for your poultry business. Backbone Feeds Kenya Limited manufactures high-quality broiler and layer starter, grower and finisher feeds that come in 50 kgs packaging. Our broiler and layer feeds nutritional composition includes crude protein, crude ash, and crude fiber, calcium, total phosphorus, sodium chloride, lysine, and moisture, which are essential nutrients for healthy poultry. Don't just take our word for it. Ask the over 50,000 poultry farmers who use our broiler and layer feeds countrywide. To place your order, please call or WhatsApp us on 0710-822-222 or visit any of our distributors countrywide. Backbone Feeds. Healthy broilers, happy farmers.
The machinations, the red tape, the hardball, the shame, the glory, the secrets, the covert, the overt, the good, the bad, the ugly, the wins, the losses, the squabbles, the treaties, the twists, the turns, the tenders, the contracts, the game, the drama, the spats, the dossiers, the scandals, the naked truth, even their clandestine meetings. Everything you ever wanted to know, now you'll know with a new, boldly reimagined and revamped Star. Grab a copy of the Star, because smart people read the Star.
All right, and welcome back to Say What. And tonight, of course, we are talking about money matters. How do we handle money issues in marriages, in relationships? And man, wisdom, too much wisdom. Yeah. And there's something I want us to put on, like on a reality check.
Yes,
Pastor Munene.
very important.
So how do you bring this money together? Who decides what this money is going to be used for? Who decides the household will need this? How do you come up? End of the month, tumelipa, mimi nimepata 50 yangu, ya mepata 100 yake, ama 20. That now what?
I think it is very important for couples to have a budget. And to be also sincere about what they are able to do and when they are able to do that. Okay. Because one of the greatest problem we have today about money, it is, you know you are earning 100,000, but you are living a life of 200,000.
Yeah.
And that's where stress come in. That's where debt come in. That's where, borrowing and all that. And in fact, by the end of the day, you start now, you start having a problem with one another.
Yes.
Because you are not living within your means.
Okay.
So what are you supposed to do?
Yes.
I recommend sit down and discuss.
Yes.
This is what we are earning. Then, these are our priorities. School fees is number one. Paying the rent, food. Those are things that are very, very important.
Yes,
so you are 100,000 brought together. You agree by the end of the day, the balance will be like 20,000. Out of 20,000, can we save 10,000?
Okay.
Because it's also very, very important to have goals when they come to saving. You find that most of the people, when they have emergency, they don't have any money they can use. They are running all over. They are calling everybody right, left. Why? Because they were not saving. And I want to say this, no matter how little you are getting, it is important to save something by the end of the day.
Anything.
And I want to add something.
Yes.
Because now, when we talk about money, there's a principle we have used in our family and it has worked. I call it GGIS. GGIS. It has really worked. We get money. Get money from all the businesses that we have, the money that comes through Pastor Munene and I. After getting money, we give money God. The next one is we give God.
Yes.
God. The same giving, we also give things that he has said that are priority. We give to the school fees, if there is a rent to be paid, if there is a debt to be paid.
Yes.
After that, you invest money. And then after that, we spend money.
Okay. Oh.
As spending comes, and we are accountable to each other. And we keep asking, have we really followed that principle in our... So we get money, you give money. Give money means any place that money is needed. Then the third one is invest the little money as he has said, because you cannot build wealth by saving. You build wealth by investing. Then after investing, that's when now we spend money. I tell you, if you put that principle as a couple, you find yourself making small steps, but very great steps at the end of the and it is said that most of the people, if salary is removed for 1 month, you might not be able to sustain
itself.
Most of the Kenyans. Why? Because we have not cultivated the culture of investing. And so it is very important. Today you can even invest even as little as 3,000. So investment is very, very important. Something, money that needs to come passively without you working. And that's what we have endeavored with Pastor Munene. We make sure there's a certain amount depending with our lifestyle. Money that comes even if we are not able to work. We will not lack anything, basic needs. We don't need to come to you and beg. Why? Because we have already established that for a long time. And that's very important because life can turn the other way around. Upside down. And you don't want to be a burden to your people and friends, and they start running away from you. Are you still able to maintain that lifestyle? Do you have passive income that comes even peradventure if you people are not working? Money can still sustain your lifestyle. And I think that's something that I have learned from him. Number 2, there is a principle he taught me. That, and I want every person who is in a relationship and marriage to listen. If you buy things you don't need, you will have to sell things that you need. Powerful. If you buy things that you don't need, you will have to sell things that you need.
Whoa.
So he told me
and there are so many people who do that.
That is something.
There are so many people today, when you go into their homes, they have got so many things they have bought. They did not need them. They were not important. Clothes that were bought, furniture that was bought, cars that were bought, and they were not important.
Do we really need 4 cars in our compound? That's what he asked me.
I'm sure there you're touching some nerves.
You see the point, eh? That's what he asked me. Do we really need 4 cars in this house? Suppose we have only 2 cars. Such that if you need to go, I can go. And we don't need all these things because what for? And we can only drive 1 car at a time. You get the point?
I love that.
So that's a very important principle because most couples, because of not understanding the money that is coming, it brings overspending. And that's why you find people people now buy things that they don't need. Because I tend to think my husband will have money all through. No.
Sometimes inakatika.
Okay. So those are very important things.
All right. Let's just get the question of the day. Of course, we always love to hear your thoughts about our discussion. Today, we're asking, what is the best way to share finances in relationships and marriage? As you've heard from our good pastors, put everything together and then now start from what we need. Ile spending. Seychelles, Maldives, new mwisho. All right, let me just sample a couple of messages. Nakuja, thank you so much. I have been in marriage for 30 years. Great discussion. My question for the last 6 months, she doesn't want to lakini ukilala nasikia wakichat na mtu. See, it's normal kwa bed anaingia 1 a.m. ati alikuwa kuwatch and I watch, advise me. Okay, you maybe badai. Let's first focus on. There's one here, more money, more problems. Huwa ngori. Hi, Pastor Munene and Sue. That's a nice conversation. Just a question. How about when the wife doesn't want to cooperate financially? Everything is about her family. I think that's important. Then
that's very important. Yes.
Another one here, Abel from Roy. My question is that if we have not separated, we live together and one partner working abroad, how will we manage that marriage? So they live together, but one partner is working abroad. Okay. Loving the show. My question is on tithing, but the New Testament does not command us to tithe. We are told to give cheerfully and voluntarily.
It's very true.
But
the minimum is tithing. Minimum is tithing.
Okay.
You get the point. It means if you cannot obey tithing, you cannot also go to the other one. You get the point.
Right.
Tithing means 10%, but we also give even 50%. Even with Pastor Munene, depending with the season. So the minimum is the tithe. Yeah, you must have a foundation.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. There's something there's another question here, Pastor, so about this wife who does not want to cooperate financially. Everything she gets goes to her family.
Yes. I think one of the things that we need to understand is because there is no training about finances, and we have said there's no university. Let's say you are doing medicine, you are doing engineer. I don't think there's a topic that talks about how to handle finances.
Yes.
And so you find most of the Kenyans, when they get into marriage, you are now starting a lesson you have never had.
There you go.
You get the point. And so you tend to think when your husband tells you, can we save this money for this and this, it is from a selfish point of view. But I came to say this. Your commitment or your covenant with in marriage, it's not between you and your sister, your mother. Like for us, we also have relatives. But what we do is, after we have agreed the things that we need to spend at home, how much money can we spend with mom and dad? So that now I also don't go to my people and start doing things that Pastor Munene does not know and find myself overspending there. Because at the end of the day, the people that we are spending thinking that we are helping them, when the time of need comes, they will never come for you.
That is it.
That's very important. They will never come to help you. And ask us, we've been there. We know. Relatives are very good when you are giving them. Wacha upato na shinda. Hata si alikuwa anakuja hapa kutuonyesha vile wako na pesa. What happened? So at the end of the day, people just forget that you really truly helped them. I have no problem parents being helped and relatives, but feed them with a long spoon. Like for us, we don't help relatives in our house. We get the house for you. You stay na maisha yako huko. Don't come to bring another energy. Because somebody can be your sister or your brother, but they can bring another energy that you people don't have as a family. And so finances must be discussed, as Pastor Munene has said. Open discussion, open communication. Let's not fear. And can I say this? Couples that don't discuss about finances, there are many areas that you are not able to discuss. And couples that discuss about finances, there is nothing they cannot talk about.
Discuss. Why is that?
Could it also be when this girl was growing up, she grew in a toxic environment?
Thank you.
Yeah. And Pastor Sue, she keeps on saying, man can see,
man can do.
Man can do. So could it be maybe the way she was seeing the neighborhood, the mother, the father, and all that? There was no good relationship. There was no good talking about money and all that. Everybody was doing their own things. So if that's what she grew seeing, chances are very high she would repeat the same. And so I think for me, it's important to sit her down. If it is necessary, you look for someone who is a bit mature, someone who is maybe ahead of you, and you can be able to talk about this matter matter. And probably most of the women, they are not that bad. I'm sure if they get some sense, they get some wisdom, they will adjust.
They will actually
adjust.
Yes.
Are not difficult.
Yes, women are not really that difficult. Men, I know, can be difficult. And generally men are difficult.
Yes,
but a woman, when she gets to know the truth and something can help her family, she will adjust and do the necessary.
Or could it be when this man also gets money, she does not communicate to the wife, so it becomes tit for tat.
Oh,
you're
yes.
getting that, yeah. Maybe
yes.
there's some amount of money that came to the man, and the man spent it with his people. So the woman got the spirit of revenge.
Yes.
Na mimi nikipata pesa, I also take it to my family.
Yes,
you get, so families can live on finances looking for to revenge, to prove to each other. But at the end of the day, it's important to remember that you have this marriage that must be built by the two of you.
Okay.
And especially when it comes to issues about finances.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Now, going back to the woman point, Pastor Munene.
Yes.
Sometimes wanawake wanaonanga mbele. Do you think it's okay for women or even men to have secret accounts that in case anything happens, mimi najua kuna mali nitatolea familia yangu kakitu? Is it okay for such things to happen?
Wow, a very good question. Secret account is a very big debate outside there.
Yeah.
I believe that there should be agreement in the family. Like, for instance, I'll tell you about now, me and Sue, how we do it.
Yes, yes.
We have a business account. Kasarani Crescent Medical Center. That's our business account.
Right.
Where money for business, money for buying medicine, paying workers, whatever need to be done, that's where the money will go. But then, I also know that Pastor Sue has got friends. Pastor Sue is relational.
Yes, yes.
And I don't expect when they meet with Betty somewhere to have a cup of coffee, she has to call me to ask for money for
but
that.
It happens.
No.
You must be a very mean man. Surely. You are a very bad man. You know, if you can't give your wife some money, anjisikia hata she's okay. You know. Yes, very, very, very important. You know. So I know she's relational. So when she goes out there, she knows that she can spend certain amount of money to this level.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, yes.
You know, it's an agreement that if you are spending, you spend to this level. Anything beyond there, then you need to consult. Good. But then I'm saying that she has her personal account.
Yes.
And I know even what is in that account. And I have no problem with that. You get it. I also have my own account. When we meet with my friends there, I don't call her asking for permission that I want to
fuel the car.
You know, I do it all the time. So I would recommend and I would suggest to the couples, please set each other free, but also have limits.
Okay.
Have boundaries.
And transparency.
And salary.
Exactly. Exactly. Very, very
especially
important.
If it's a business, please pay your wife. If you are working together with your wife, let's say, for example, the business, the person who is the proprietor is your husband.
Yes, yes.
Please pay your wife some amount of money, even more than what you pay. If you pay your workers, let's say 30,000, and your wife another 20,000, because at the end of the day, she will buy for you boxers, buy for you.
Actually, it goes back to the family. It
goes back to you and the children.
Yes.
That's what I recommend. Please make sure when you are working together with your wife, give her some money to go and take herself. And as a woman, bring.
Yeah,
that just makes someone, the woman feel girly.
In fact, there is something that I want the men to know. There is something special about when you take money and give to your wife as a man. As a husband.
Yeah, it feels great.
There is something very special about that.
Yeah.
And every woman, no matter how much money she is making, if you give her 5,000, that 5,000 from you as a husband, as a man, it means everything. It means everything. You know? And if you are there and your wife is making more money than you, let me tell you, your money is what means everything to her. And so I would say, like, for instance, when those are special moments, like the birthday, learn to give your wife money. You know, atafadhali ukose kununua mambo viatu and all that. Get some 10,000 in an envelope and give her. You know, anniversary. Learn to give money. The same case also with a woman. And let me say this: when a woman sees that the husband is treating them well, most of the women, they will reciprocate by doing the right thing.
Wow.
You know, exactly.
Yes.
So I would say that I think
that.
men are the initiator. They are the ones who are supposed to read in this thing. And the way you read, then women will follow easily without any problem.
I love that.
Exactly.
So kuna maneno ya secret account.
Hapana, no secret account because
Personal,
no,
but we
wacha
all...
niwaambie tafadhali. Don't have secret account that your husband does not know or your wife know or your children. If in the case of death, what is going to happen? Those assets will be taken to CBK. You're getting that?
And then claimed assets.
Unclaimed asset. Just because you hid from your wife. Then why were you working? Who are you working for? So for me, even if you really have a husband who is very responsible when it comes to money, make sure your sister is aware, your son is aware, your daughter is aware. So that peradventure, if something happens on you, the children will not suffer. So make sure there is somebody, because there are men, we cannot assume that all men and all women are good, you know, managers of money. There are men, when they get money, they drink all of it. They go to humanizing all that. If your husband is like that, then it is very important for you to be a wise woman. Then get someone who is responsible. Na huwezi kosa sister au brother ambaye munasikizananga, muko na vibe pamoja. Tell your firstborn son or your secondborn son or your daughter. Tell them there is this amount of money. Peradventure, if there is this, kuna hii na hii deal. Kuna shamba nimenunua mahali hapo. Wapeleke, even when they are small. Let them see. You get the point. By so doing, you have left an inheritance for your children, because anything can happen and you can find yourself gone. So this secret has left so many families in pain because money was hidden, yet it was needed to help them.
Do you know, Betty, one of the reasons why these gadgets are very sensitive to many couples? Two things. Number one, money. Number two, relationship.
Relationship with me, I'm a chat.
Flirting.
You know, the reason why you find many people, they don't want, you know, like she's my wife, I don't want her to touch my phone.
It's money.
Yeah?
And
Either money.
It's either money or relationships issues. That's why phones are very sensitive with so many couples.
Ukishika tu hivi simu.
You know, if it's not about money, it could be about, if those two are taken care, let me tell you, people will be living in their phones without worrying.
I love
that wisdom.
You know, but they are so sensitive. Just because of those two. And mostly those are the two reasons why many couples, many people in whatever, they don't trust each other.
And you see, the reason why they are very sensitive is because those are the unspoken matters. Yeah, I don't want to tell Pastor Munene I'm flirting with another man. I'm chatting with another man. You get the point? I also don't want to tell him that I've received some amount of money. You see, those two things have destroyed the greatest and the smallest marriage. So great money, a lot of money can destroy a marriage. Little money can also destroy marriage. Media money, if there is something, can also destroy money. So the issue is what he said from the beginning, transparency. You people have to talk about
one last question before we start winding up. What if one party is transparent and the other one is not? Because sometimes there are many rich men out there, they have this and this, but maybe they see their wives as naive. Huyu ni just a housewife. They don't deserve to know so much. How does that happen if one party is not transparent?
I would say that it is good to do the right thing at all times.
So mimi nishine nikimwambia ni nimepata hii, nimepata na yeye amenyamaza.
It is very, very important to choose to do the right thing. And you don't allow the negative part or the bad part of your spouse to really change you or cause you to do things in the wrong way. That is me. Like for instance, there's a time that my wife had issues to do with anger. She never changed me to be like her.
Anga yako ilikuwa mbaya.
It was toxic.
My point, she never changed me. I remained whom I was. I prayed for her. I supported her. I trusted God for her. I gave her opportunities to learn through seminars, through books and all that. Until today, she is who she is. And I'm so proud, you know, because of what God has made her to be. Now, if I was not a strong man and a good man, I would have equally been, you know, carried by this. And by the end of the day, we destroy a good family and each other. Family that was supposed to help many people like we are doing even today. So don't change because your partner is bad to be. But it's like to say that if I'm drinking, she also drink. No, she won't be that way. If I'm going out, she also goes out. revenge is not the way to go when it comes to marriage.
Wow.
Well, I love that.
This man is full of wisdom.
Full of wisdom. All right. Let's as we wind up, let's come here.
Yeah.
So, hey.
Wonderful.
Mapenzi nakwambia.
Wow.
Let me ask you, Pastor Munene, so there's a couple that has not had this transparency for some time now. Now they want to start it. How do they start it? Unaanza sasa kuambiana, okay, mimi end month mimi napatanga, wewe unapatanga ngapi? How does that conversation start, for them to go to the other side, the greener pasture?
What do you say about that?
Communication. You had already said that
Yes.
communication in marriage is important as blood is to the body. And so you begin small. You begin with small things. My dear, I heard from the online that is important for us to discuss about money. And I was thinking if we could discuss, probably there are things we would have done. Started from a positive vibe.
Yeah.
And even if you tell somebody, na katae kusikia, don't worry. Keep on telling them. I just feel in my heart that if we sat down and talked about finances, there are many things we could have done together. But however, can I still give you time until when you adjust? Other times, the most important thing what I have seen is mentors. When you have a mentor, like for us, when we had challenges with finances, I would go and report Pastor Munene to my mentor. Namwambia sasa, mimi naona hii pesa inatumiwa sana kanisani. Na mimi naona nasikia, ananiambia, hey, Pastor Sue is complaining that you are using too much money of the family in the church. Na yeye ananiuliza, anakuja na yeye ananiuliza, has this church not ever supported? You see, we talk. Talking is the way forward. Okay. You're getting that? Yes. Like I remember when we had also issues, so many people came into our life. We were able to see the light from another angle. Yeah. You get the point? Because at that time, I looked like I had money. But the same ministry also supported me in one way or another. So there are times you must understand the seasons of your marriage. Don't make, the way they say, don't make a temporal, a permanent decision on a temporal situation. Okay. And money is always temporal. Today muko juu, siku ingine muko katikati, wakati mwingine muko chini. So communication is very important. Okay. Even on little money, much money on projects and everything. Let your wife sit down and hear what those engineers are saying. Wow. Even the house, even if you are building. Yeah. Si unajenga nyumba, unampeleka, hakujua. Yes. And then anasema, I wish the kitchen was here. No, those are the things that makes each other to grow. Yeah. Because we can also grow each other by making sure that you also input me in your investments. And when we do that, you bring up a very strong couple and your marriage becomes wonderful.
Wow. Tumesoma leo.
The last few words, Pastor.
The last few words, I will say avoid blame game.
Oh, yeah.
In everything.
Okay.
Yes.
If you want to have a good marriage, a good family, avoid blame game. When you start blaming each other, complaining, murmuring, you give the enemy an opportunity, which is very, very bad. So no matter how the situation is, pray, trust God.
Yes.
Then try to create those opportunities whereby when you know your man is happy, your wife is happy, take them out, speak some of these things. Don't do it within the
house.
The house. Exactly. Wapereke inje, take a coffee, and then tell them, my dear, there's something I'm thinking. And you begin to talk about it. When you do that, you will get somewhere by the end of the day.
I love that. Hey, wisdom.
Yes. By the way, if you are there and you'd want to reach me, 0725 666 999, a very simple number. 0725 666 999. And tomorrow it is Sunday. I want to invite you to come and fellowship with us at Overcomers Hope Church, right at Kasarani Season Stage, from 10 in the morning. You are welcome all the way to 1 p.m. and the Lord will bless you.
Oh, that's we've got in a church invitation.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah.
And for me, I want to speak to all the people who have challenges with their joy gun and their joy well.
Yes.
And you could be there and you have done masturbation, you have erectile dysfunction, you have cancer, you have diabetes, you have all these things. You know, you are kamekuwa kadogo because of masturbation. I'm here for you. Before I became a pastor, he's the one who made me a pastor. He found me in the medical field. And so we have a hospital at Kasarani Season Stage. The first right turn, you will see Clay City Medical Center. That's where I am from Monday. And after even church, if there is no meeting, I go there and see my patients. Exactly. Please come there. We discuss if you have any issue. Let's come and help each other. So anything involving erectile dysfunction and masturbation, please call me. My number is 0712 265 746. 0712 265 746. Please, we need to make sure that finances should not take us down because twatwa should be okay. See you when I can't avoid you. Bye.
See you when I can't.
Say what? Say what?